Hi everyone and welcome to the Bold Hairspring. My name is Ivan and in today's video we'll be discussing one of the most iconic modern Seiko watches, the SARB017 aka the Alpinist. I can tell you right away that it is a great watch, but should you buy one in 2020? Let's find out. So, the Alpinist line was first introduced in 1961, and it was designed and engineered with Japanese mountain climbers in mind. As you can imagine guys, the Alpinist from 60 years ago looked nothing like its more modern iteration from 1995 and onwards, which is basically when the whole watch was redesigned. You see, the compass inner bezel was added and the cathedral style hands were introduced. Then later on in 2006, the SARB series was released, and it consisted of three models, the SARB013, SARB015, and the one I'm showing you today, the SARB017. Interestingly, the Alpinist line was never very popular up until the release of the SARB series, and the model that especially got people's attention was the green dial version. People found its appearance to be attractive, sporty, and dressy at the same time. And the desire of owning a SARB017 became even more prominent when Seiko announced its discontinuation in 2018. As a result, today in 2020, getting a brand new Alpinist for a fair price is not easy. In fact, you should be prepared to drop about €600 or more compared to the price I paid 2 years ago in 2018, which was about €400. Obviously, Seiko didn't discontinue it for no reason. They were preparing the market for the release of the new 2020 Alpinist line, and I'll be giving you my thoughts about it throughout the video, but right now let's focus on the SARB017. For those who don't know much about this watch, it comes on a brown leather alligator strap, but right out of the box this strap is very stiff, and that's the reason why many people dislike it and replace it with something else right away. The reason I replaced it though, it's because I like bracelets, and if there is the option of putting any of my watches on decent bracelets, I'd do so. And in this case I have the Strapcode Angus J. Lewis Jubilee bracelet with IP gold central links and the V-clasp, and I can tell you guys that it's simply fantastic. The build quality is solid, you get a full milled clasp, solid end links, and it's also put together by screws, and there are plenty of micro adjustment holes on the clasp. I must say I'm not affiliated nor sponsored by Strapcode in any way, but it's just a very good bracelet, and that's why I'll leave a link in the description below for you to check it out. Back to the watch itself, as always let's begin with the dimensions. The case diameter is 38mm, but because of the two crowns on the right side, the watch appears a little bit bigger. The thickness is just 12mm, so no sliding under the cuff issues here. The lug width is 20mm. And finally we have the curved lugs. The distance between them is 46mm, which allows the watch to be worn on a big variety of wrist sizes. Mine is 17cm in circumference, and besides looking good, the watch also feels very comfortable. As for the design and build quality of the case, I have nothing but good things to say. The moment you hold the watch, you realize it's a tough watch that can withstand a lot. There is a flat sapphire crystal with no air coating on top, and it's surrounded by the polished bezel. Then the top of the lugs is brushed and the sides of the case are also polished. In my opinion guys, it is precisely that combination of brushed and high polished finishing that makes this watch so versatile and not strictly a sports tool watch. It's also important to mention that the finishing is way better than what you would typically see on a Seiko 5 or an SKX. Next we find the screwed down crown on the right side, which is signed with the letter S, and this is something you do not get with any of the 2020 Alpinists, as they do not have signed crowns. I don't know about you guys, but personally this is something that it bothers me a little bit. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Then the crown at 4 o'clock is for interacting with the inner bezel or chapter ring, which serves as a compass. It's not a screw down and there is no clicking or anything like that, it just turns smoothly in both directions. Then if we turn the watch around, we'll see the screw down case back, which gives away some of the specifications of the watch. Made in Japan, stainless steel, 20 bar water resistance, which is by the way very impressive, 6R15, that's the movement, and it also says Alpinist. And we have the Alpinist logo. So there are a couple of things here that you do not get with the 2020 reissue. You see guys, on the new models you will nowhere find the word Alpinist, as Seiko has replaced it with the Prospex logo. They did the exact same thing with the Marine Master line some time ago, and I didn't like it then, and I can tell that I definitely do not like it now, as I think that doing so takes away from the identity of the watch, although they're exactly the same, they look exactly the same. The Alpinist and the Marine Master now are part of the Prospex collection, which also includes models such as the Sumo, the Tuna, the Marine Master 200, the Monster, and a few others. I really think that Seiko is going in the wrong direction here, and they definitely need to better organize their different collections so that they don't confuse the buyers. Once again, let me know what you think in the comments section below. Alright, let's talk about the dial now because it really deserves your attention. It has a very nice distinctive emerald green color that I haven't seen on any other watch. The sunburst effect is also pleasing. It looks great under the sun as it is more pronounced, but I also like how the dial changes completely when not exposed to a direct source of light, as it literally looks matte finished. Then we have the gold color applied markers and the cathedral hands, which look amazing. In my opinion, the combination of green and gold is a huge win here, plus the cathedral hands are quite unique. At the 12 o'clock we find the applied Seiko logo, and at the 3 o'clock we have a date window without a cyclops, which we do find on the 2020 models. I don't really mind magnification windows or cyclops as long as they are done well, and fortunately that's the case with the new 2020 models. Finally, at 6 o'clock we find the wording automatic, Diashock, 23 joules and 20 bar, while on the reissue it says only automatic, 20 bar, and you get the Prospex logo above. Honestly guys, the dial is stunning in person, and because of it, it's a watch that will get you a lot of compliments. And of course, no review is complete without mentioning the movement. What Seiko really deserves respect for is that they manufacture their own movements. So inside the SARB017 we find the 6R15 in-house mechanical movement with 23 joules. It's a bidirectional automatic movement that can also be hand wound. It features hacking stop seconds and it has a power reserve of 50 hours, which is more than the 38 hours you get from a base grade ETA 2824 or a Sellita SW200, and it also runs at 21,600 vibrations per hour. Now when it comes to timekeeping and precision, the 6R15 is expected to be accurate from -15 to +25 seconds per day. But usually you get much better results than that, and mine has been consistently running at about +3 to +5 seconds per day. However, if you decide to buy the 2020 Alpinist, you will get the updated version of this movement, which is the 6R35, and it's basically the same as the 6R15, but it has 1 joule more, it's a little bit slimmer, and it has an extended power reserve of 70 hours. Overall, the 6R15 in the SARB017 is still a reliable, durable and surprisingly accurate movement, which should serve you well for a long time without servicing. So, should you get a SARB017 in 2020? The quick answer to that is definitely yes, and I think that this year is probably your last chance of picking up a brand new one for an acceptable price. If you really like everything about this watch and you can find it for about €600 or less brand new, I would say go for it. If not, then find yourself a good deal on the 2020 model and go for it instead, as it's also a great option. I mean, that's what I would do if I were looking for an Alpinist today. I just like the fact that with the SARB I get a signed crown, I like that it actually says Alpinist on the case back, and I like that the case back is not a see-through like the one on the 2020 model, as the 6R movements are not particularly nice to look at. All I'm saying is that given the choice, the SARB017 would be my pick because of all I have already mentioned and because it's simply more iconic. And this is the end of this review guys. To wrap it up, the SARB017 is an exceptional watch which offers a lot of value and quality. It's a do-it-all watch with a killer looking dial, a water resistance of a dive watch, and a nice story behind how it came into existence. Thanks for watching another one of my videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing it as I upload weekly. I'll see you in the next one.